Kia ora tātou, welcome back to the Wargaming Den. Today's little video is just going to be a brief look at how I've made my fortifications, maybe in a wee bit more detail than the previous video. Okay, and here's a brief overview of what they look like. So they're pretty basic, they're just made out of bits of balsa, some permafiller, DIY type filler, just shaped the balsa. And at the back there you can see the old ones I'd originally made. They're too tall and never really happy with them, which is why I've decided to make these new ones. And back there you can see some barbed wire and the start of the minefields as well. So the first step is to bit of MDF just shaped with a jigsaw into the rough shape that I wanted it to be. I've just put some balsa at the back and some little posts also made out of balsa, and then I had a big chunk of balsa, but you can use anything, and that is just to so I didn't have to use too much filler. The filler I use takes ages to dry the more you put on, so this was just to speed that process up. And once that is done, as you can see at the back here, I just spread the filler over and then leave it to dry. And the final step would be to put some sandbags on the top like the old ones. So you can see how tall the old ones I made 6 or 7 years ago, and I was never really happy with them. I made them too tall. These are a lot smaller. They're probably at 1.5 centimeters, just under 2 centimeters tall, and from here out to here is probably 3 to 4 centimeters tops. So I wanted it to slope more gently up to the parapets on the trenches, and just a view from behind the trench, foxhole, dug-in marker, call it what you want. But just 2 or 3 rows of balsa, and I've chopped it up in sections just to make it a bit less regular. Just pop some posts in. Again, it's just an undercoat, quick dry brush of a brown, and then the light yellowish dry brush I use on all this style terrain just to weather it a wee bit, but not a bad height and quite a simple, easy project to do. And this stage was just last night. I got some modeling clay, the stuff from the kids use quite a lot, and I just made some sandbags last night. They're about 1 centimetre long by about 8mm wide, just put into shape, PVA to put on the top, and then I painted them. And to finish them off, did them a light tan colour, and I wasn't quite happy with it, so once that had dried, I just used Army Painter dark tone. I'm really happy with the way they came out after that step had been done. So more than enough for my standard size battles in Italy. So yeah, I can dig in 4 or potentially even up to 6 sections or squads. So I've got plenty, but I could always build more, but I'm really happy with the way they've turned out. And project number 2 was to build some pillboxes, and these were really fast and simple. Just made out of foam core, and I've put a little bit of the permafiller stuff that I use for the basing on the walls to give a bit of texture to the concrete. And again, I just built up the base, and then I needed less permafiller. I PVA some rocks and stones onto them. I did the same with the roof, and the roof is just another bit of PVA I've roughly carved into shape and popped a little bit of foliage on top. So to make the actual pillbox was probably a 20-minute job, if that, and then it was just a matter of waiting for the permafiller to dry. And here we have with the roof off. So as you can see, really simple, really basic design. This gun team is on a 5 centimeter base, so this is about 5.5 centimeters on the inside, and it's about 6 or 6.5 centimeters long, so it's rectangular. You can see the foam core there, and these, because my machine gun teams are kneeling, are only about 4 centimeters tall. Ones which I wanted infantry in, I'd add another centimeter in height to them. Once this is done, which was really easy, cutting out the firing slit was probably the longest part of the whole job. Then it was just put the permafiller on, wait till that had dried, put a bit of stuff on there for texture. I always like a couple of textures on the bases, and then dry brush it, add a little bit of clump foliage. Done. Very simple project, but it looks really good on the table. And here we have it, the completed bunker or pillbox. So the roof comes off, you can put guys in it. Nice simple design, looks pretty good, and very happy with how all the fortifications have turned out. And there we have it, half a day's work maybe over a couple of days, and I've got enough fortifications for most of my standard battles. So really happy with how this little project turned out. I've used them quite a bit already in my Italian campaign themed around Monte Cassino, so I'm sure I will get a lot more use out of them going forward. So there we have it. Give it a crack, see how they turn out. There's lots of other how-to videos out there on the internet and YouTube to have a look at as well, but that's how I made my fortification. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, ka kite anō.